I'm a fighter. I can take a punch. I live. I learn something every day. I strike when I need to strike.
Just like that.
I prepare. I've earned everything I have. If I fall, I get back up. I won't be underestimated. I'm Aaron, and I put the boom into boom bust.
Hello again. Thousands of migrants in Calais are about to be bulldozed out of their makeshift shelters. They'll be moved to wasteland near a new migrant centre on Tuesday. They can spend months at a time in the town, risking their lives trying to sneak across the channel into the UK. Around 2,000 migrants have been living rough in fact with no access to showers or toilets, and the number of young families squatting in the camps been growing as well. Authorities in Calais say they're fed up with the problem and they're threatening to tear up a treaty that allows a UK border checkpoint there. The town's deputy mayor even wished the migrants luck in reaching Britain, as he put it. Well, as Calais questions its UK border controls, others across the EU are demanding tougher rules too, as Peter Oliver reports now.
We would like to go back to the old border control that people had to show a passport when they went into the country and had to face the customs when they went in or went out. That's what we want.
Patience is running thin over the Schengen visa zone. In Denmark, a recent TV poll found that over 60% of people want to do away with it. The Spanish government also suggested checkpoints at crossings between Schengen areas in the wake of the Paris terror attacks, while the state of Bavaria has demanded more border checks with Austria to stop a tide of migrants crossing into Germany after arriving in Italy on boats from Africa.
But how effective would the reintroduction of border checkpoints actually be? Most of the boundaries between European states look a lot like this. And after having crossed the Mediterranean and most of a continent before arriving in Northern Europe, a stream isn't that much of an obstacle. In one leap, I've crossed from Germany into Poland. It's as easy as that.
With tens of thousands of kilometres of rural border, what options are available?
If you really want to shore up your borders, the only option may be to take truly drastic action and build something like a modern-day Berlin Wall.
Of course, no one would ever suggest that. However, the humanitarian crisis facing Italy and other Mediterranean states caused by refugees arriving on boats from Libya is posing challenges. Italy took in 170,000 migrants last year. Many of those then look to move to other Schengen nations to start a new life, leading some politicians in neighbouring countries to appeal for far tighter border security.
Si l'on veut protéger nos frontières, il faut suspendre Schengen, d'urgence, et remettre des douaniers aux frontières.
The EU leaders discussed border controls recently, but aside from agreeing to share airline passenger data, there was no major breakthrough.
Schengen is not the problem. It should be part and parcel of the solution. Before thinking about any improvements we could introduce, the first thing we should do is exploit the flexibility within the present rules.
That's just not cutting it, with people angry at the current system, who see the moves as a panic reaction so that EU officials are seen to be doing something. But right now, a solution's proving extremely elusive in tackling the influx of illegal immigrants while protecting one of the EU's founding principles, freedom of movement. Peter Oliver, RT, Germany.
The worst power cut to hit Turkey in more than a decade's left 40 provinces and the capital Ankara without electricity for a while. In the largest city, Istanbul, the subway has been stopped and some shopping malls are without power there. Scary if you're stuck down there. The outage has also badly disrupted air traffic as well. The cause of the outage hasn't yet been established, but the country's Prime Minister says all scenarios are possible, including a terror attack. So we're following that up this afternoon. See if we can get more on it for you ASAP. Now, more news on the co-pilot who crashed that German Wings plane with 150 people on board last week. Apparently, he had a history of suicidal tendencies. French prosecutors say Andreas Lubitz received psychiatric treatment before his aviation career. His ex-girlfriend says that she'd grown scared of him, that they split up when she realised that he had psychological problems. Evidence suggests Lubitz locked the captain out of the cockpit and deliberately crashed that plane into the Alps. 30 cars have been burned out in a Stockholm suburb. That's what you're seeing here. They're in a garage next to a nursery and residential buildings. There have been no reports, though, thankfully, of any casualties. Protesters in the Philippines have reenacted the crucifixion of Christ to draw attention to what they see as the inequality in the country. Protesters say they wanted to depict the many crosses being carried by workers and ordinary Filipinos. They're demanding a higher minimum wage to catch up with the rising cost of living in the country. More pictures here. An audacious smash and grab raid's been caught on security cameras in Australia. A car driven by robbers is seen accelerating through a shopping mall's glass doors. Here we go. Then it skids to a halt just outside a jewellery shop before reversing into it. Look at that. Two hooded men then smash the glass counters and grab the loot. After the 3-minute ransacking, they get into the car and drive off again. Police are still searching for the robbers. If we know that they get caught, we'll let you know. It's 23.5 minutes past 2 in the afternoon here in Moscow. Thanks for being with RT International. We know you've got a lot of choice out there, so we appreciate it all the more. Coming up, great programme for you. Max is here along with Stacey discussing today whether the mass media are delivering on their task of challenging power and financial elites. Yes, the Kaiser report with you then right after this break.